Welcome to session 11 of Ethan Ranting. A whole bunch of bullshit posted. Dionysus, you had better read each word of this out, and I want to hear funny inflections and table thumping. Sure. I am curious as to your practical experience with magic, as in rituals, evocations, sigils, whatever. If I can extend any respect towards you over and above the crowd I have lumped you into arbitrarily, it is the fact that you seem to have educated yourself in many areas that I arbitrarily see as worthwhile. You most definitely know more about magic than me anyway, in theory, so I'm wondering if it extends to practice. I'm also curious what you think about nihilism, will to power, sadism, and whatnot. I'm especially curious as to whether you think that the attitude is life-affirming or life-denying. And when I say life-affirming, I mean by no means positive. I by no means mean positive, enlightened, or secure. Shove the consciousness expansion agenda up your ass like a fucking whore getting raped in an alley by a balding convict called Irving. Since that violation may at least give you something visceral to feel without censoring it with mantras or paniques, I don't know. Deal with it. Despite the fact that I come off like a ranting asshole on the internet. No, you are a ranting asshole on the internet, but it's okay. I honestly believe that I'm doing more to affirm life than someone bound up in pursuit of consciousness, love, and positivity. Although I'm all for it as an experience, just not as an ideal. Evangelizing a dogma, particularly under the guise of liberation, particularly if that liberation is largely metaphysically packaged, is one of the few things that I would go so far as to call evil. It is just more control structures based on reactive programming and a total absence of sense of humor beyond the most childish interactions that leave everyone unscathed and unchallenged. I would much prefer the company of equals. It is just a pity that people are not getting with the fucking program. I would prefer these kinds of people destroyed or their wills nullified over making nice compromising, practicing tolerance, and freezing into a bubble of masturbation without any penetrative intensity. But I would prefer equals more. What is an equal? I don't know. I see it as a sharing or at least aspiring to geometric intensity of experience, strength of will, life force, risks, kicks. It is intangible as a meaningless semantic definition. But I know them when I see them due to my arbitrarily selective egoism. So be it. I wouldn't be enacting this selection if the entire culmination of cosmic factors hadn't led up to me enacting it. And since everyone else's existence and sentience is debatable, by elimination I am correct and more correct than anyone else until I either change my mind or cease judging things in such slave terms. The beauty of that is, though, that I am still correct. It is just in temporal time more correct than before. Not that before is a relevant concept in any kind of operation sense, yet more metaphysical nonsense, only good for cataloging dead life as a vicarious experience and atrophying instincts and awareness. I don't deny the experiences or perceptual changes, enhancements, these, those, they, that, people, entities, lunatics, assholes claim. I make a point to pursue fringe or extreme experience, and what I have ascertained is that when people talk about psychic this or astral that, they are probably tapping into real things. I have a feeling that I have slipped into many of the states that New Agers babble on about, and possibly on a frequent basis. I just don't define it as more valid than anything else, so it slips back into the swing of the apprehended present moment, which is all there is to apprehend. Peaks, valleys, mystic or mundane, it's all the same. I take issue with the idealism and dogma, they, you, it, those, them, that they seem to attach to it. Metaphor is one thing, but extending that to blanket value, judgments towards every contrary experience and attitude really pisses me off. Nobody knows more than anyone else, and that constantly needs to be known and kept in mind. What mind? It is a word that means very little, so rather than using a noun, we should say minding as an active process. People seem so suicide obsessed, though, that the concept of all processes being active boggles the mind. What mind is there to boggle? Even assuming the word actually describes the territory, I swear that people seem to have degenerated their intelligence so much that their mind resembles a mongoloid incest baby, beyond their ability to route root memorize various piles of bullshit. A monkey can be conditioned to remember most any definition since it can be conditioned, and the psychological cowardliness / weakness, maybe it is a innate weakness, in which case this is wasted on you / them, serves as an active conditioning agent since it is posing a perpetual threat like a shock collar. Your morality is keeping you from the real freedom since you not only enjoy the collar, but it is your only source of stimulation, so you won't throw it away. The day-by-day, week-by-week lobotomization is giving you a perfect excuse to continue your infectious venal propagation of dead experience rather than getting your motherfucking kicks, daddy-o. It is very inconsiderate, and it is such old hat that it is going to turn the planet into more of a cesspit than it needs to be. It will be the planet of the medicated accountants, since the compression of real practical information is getting corrupted and disseminated. Eckhart Tolle and his vile ilk is doing for magic what Nickelback is doing for music. Huxley must be doing backflips in his grave, particularly since it is all his fault for the modern phenomenon. Huxley is still the fucking tits, though, despite that one blunder. It was human, all too human, but then again, who here isn't under the tyranny of that particular curse? I would say that I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, but as I have mulled over the presence of mind at all is highly suspect, let alone best mind. It's just that some people have more or less extreme forms of fun. Still, I think it is intrinsically an empty situation, so I don't care to preach. I am not better than anyone else, even the people I mercilessly attack. Do what thou wilt, I suppose. It is definitely all in good fun, maybe. So long as you are willing to burn on the pyre for your kicks, it's all in good fun. / Dexedrine rant. My week beats your year. I'm going to have to give your thread its own video, which I'll do next video. Alpha, oh my god, said, the fourth video was removed for being too long, and the second one you said you were going to quit smoking and drinking, and then at the start of the third you're smoking. You called it, although I think in the third video it was still the same night. It was still my last night of indulgence. I've done that before. I got a fresh pack here, you know. But, you know, I really think what's holding me back is that right now I don't have my personal space. I don't have my own room, let alone my own apartment, to be able to define my personal boundaries, to be able to live freely. I mean, yeah, sure, you're going to have to do that anywhere if you want to take care of yourself and love yourself, but we're all being oppressed by our environment. We're all being oppressed by each other. Even the people we get along with, we're different people, and it's that difference, it's that tension that propels us forward. I like to think of it in terms of electricity, or in terms of what's it called? You know, like when you have hot air and cold air, and the hot air and cold air are attracted and they diffuse. I can't think of what the process is called, but it's pressure that keeps us moving. If there was no pressure, if there was no difference, then we would be, you know, a universally diffused hodgepodge. With that said, I think once I have more personal space, I'll have more personal freedom, and I won't have to worry about how I influence people in my house and how people in the house influence me. Especially with the kids around, you have to be so careful what you say and what you do, because they soak it right up and they repeat after you. So I think I'll be more at ease when I have my own place, and I'll have more self-control. And when I have more self-control, you know, I might be compelled to go out and buy some unhealthy food, but it's a lot easier to stop yourself from, you know, getting in the car, going out, driving, and paying for healthy food or unhealthy food than it is to compel yourself not to eat the food that's in the kitchen, you know, right on the other side of the door or whatever. So I'll be able to control my environment more effectively. This goes into magic too, so I'll talk about this more in the video that I'll dedicate to Dionysus and my response to Dionysus. You should totally quit smoking and cut down on the drinking. I really don't drink that much, and that's not an addict talking. The other night I bought a 4-pack, and before that I had a couple beers out of this variety pack that my mom got. Before that I haven't drank since Christmas, you know. Although it's dangerous. It's a dangerous possibility. I could easily become alcoholic if I don't mind myself. But as it is so far, I don't drink too much. I don't drink every day. I don't feel a need to drink like I do feel a need to smoke. So don't sweat that. But thank you for your concern. Oh God. This is a crystal my friend gave me for Christmas, by the way, and I just busted it. I got crystal. I got crystal dust now. Supposedly, it's one of the few gems that attunes all of the chakras. And while I think it's reasonable to believe that, you know, that minerals or whatever could have some effect on the chakras, I'm not, you know, I'm not one of these new age pussies that gets the idea in their head that if I could just buy this product, my chakras would be aligned and all my problems would be over. No thank you. The way I see it is, well, I can't see auras at will. You know, I have seen them sporadically, but only if I could see chakras at will would I be able to test the veracity of the claim that this attunes all of the chakras. But, you know, quartz crystal does have, you know, piezoelectric properties. When you squeeze quartz crystal, it produces electricity, and they have other interesting properties like that. And I'm convinced that the body does have a human energy field, as Barbara Ann Brennan defines it, and I believe that, well, it's science that we have a bioelectric field, being that quartz crystal is, you know, electrically reactive or has electrical properties, or however you'd say it. I do believe there's some science in how crystal might affect your chakras, but most of what you read is hearsay, and I wouldn't really put faith into it, and I definitely wouldn't put money into it unless I could experiment with it in some kind of reliable way, you know, actually get verifiable results on it and whatnot. So the smoking and drinking, it's affecting you just like your poor diet. I'm on part 1 of video 5 now, and I'm not going to be able to watch all of these right now, but you've had a lot of interesting things to say. Thank you. I don't know how the other videos after this have gone, but it's cool watching you talk about the abstract. Thanks for doing this. I think it's something worth doing, even if it's a bit weird. You're welcome. That's all for now. If you would like me to talk about something specific, please post a comment or send a reply or send me a private message or something, and try to keep it less than, you know, 5 gigantic fucking paragraphs, and I would gladly go into it, offer you my opinion, and maybe we can get somewhere with it. So thanks for listening. More to come.